All right, here's your breaking news from the Patriots. According to Schefter, Rap Sheet, and several others, the Patriots and Rhamondre Stevenson have agreed to terms on a new contract, 4 years, $36 million, with $17 million guaranteed. And the deal was close, they were saying, the last week of minicamp. It's now done.
Okay, that seems very reasonable.
Yes, it does.
Right?
It does. It feels fitting, actually.
4 years, $36 million. So, I know NFL contracts don't exactly work this way, but $9 million a year, $17 million fully guaranteed seems very low. Let me get you the running back rankings before. But when we were talking about, and again, I'm sure those numbers are inflated. I'm sure he's not actually getting $9 million a year, but we talked about Tony Pollard getting $7.5 million. There was another free agent running back we were talking about, that was kind of the threshold. Are you comfortable paying him in the top 10? You're probably paying him now as a top 10 running back. But that, especially the guaranteed number over 4 years, seems very reasonable.
Very manageable.
Yeah.
Very manageable. This does make me think of, I'm sorry, I can't remember. You'll know. You sent in Slack an article. Someone was describing him as
Curran.
It was Curran.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tommy. So maybe the biggest weapon on offense, and this is what he's worth. Do you think that says a little something about your offense?
Yeah, I'm not overly in love with the offense if Rhamondre Stevenson's your best player, but I'm hoping that Drake May gets there soon. Is how I would put that.
It's more than Mixon got in Houston.
That might have been the other name.
Yeah,
actually.
Mixon got 8.5, so it's more than him.
Okay, AAV.
Yes.
Right. But I wonder if that's actually what it's going to break down as. So let me see. The biggest cap hits. I don't want cap hits. I don't think he's going to get $9 million a year. Is my roundabout point. He's got $17 million guaranteed. My guess is he makes less than Pollard. He makes less than Mixon once the official numbers come out.
Mixon's was 3 years, 25.5 with 16 guaranteed.
Oh, so maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay.
An average AAV of 8.5. Yeah.
Okay, so that's right around the same thing. Okay, so that's about where we expected. So when I say it seems reasonable, I guess when you dig in on some of those numbers, it's very similar to Mixon and Pollard, which I think are comparable. I think he's better than Pollard. Is he better than Joe Mixon? I don't know. I mean, Mixon's never the most efficient. I think he's put up better raw numbers in Cincinnati the last few years before going to Houston this year. So I guess we'll see. But that's probably about right then. Look, I don't have an issue with that. I wish the Patriots spent some money on some players that were not on the team. And the idea of giving a running back a second contract is a bit treacherous. I'm okay with paying running backs, but McCaffrey, I would have no problem with paying, right? It's really got to be a top-of-the-market guy. And even then, it's dangerous because the shelf life is so short. But this feels reasonable. And if you're going to get in, I guess that's a good number to do it at. The only thing I said when we were talking about Stevenson before is what's the rush? And if I'm going to play the other side of the coin, why do you have to pay him now? And I guess the answer would be you locked him in at a deal, but if it's just the deal that Pollard and Mixon and those guys got in free agency, or it's close to it, then what was really the harm in proving that he bounced back, seeing how he fits in this new offense? If he has a big year, you can always franchise him. I don't understand why they had to do it right now, but they have the money. I guess they're just keeping their whole team together, and so I don't have a big issue with this.
So they gave him 4 years, and you're talking about they could have franchised him if they were really worried about losing him, if they saw something pretty good from him. My thing with Stevenson is as talented and as excited, as talented as he's been and as excited as I've been about him at different points, I still think that there are some questions around him. He's always shared the load as a running back, and we'll see what it is this season. We don't know if he can carry a season-long load on his own. He got injured partway through last year, and so it's hard to tell. He's only getting a little bit older. I'm happy that they paid him. I agree with you. I think it's a reasonable, manageable contract. It's just, I don't know. I still think there's a few question marks with him about who he'll be in 2 years. Yeah,
Andrew Callahan just tweeted out that Rhamondre Stevenson, with this new deal, has now become the NFL's sixth highest paid running back by total contract value, seventh by AAV, and seventh in total guaranteed money. I would question that Rhamondre Stevenson's place is a top 10 running back in the league. I would question that. I don't think that he is.
Okay, but that's not really the question.
It's not really the question. I mean, we're talking about this deal that he was given now and everything, but I think that the market is what it is. And as you see some of these guys start to sign, the Saquon Barkleys and the Josh Jacobs and the Joe Mixons and those guys, I'm a little surprised to see him in that same
So do you think he got
conversation.
overpaid?
Well, no, this is what
a
I'm
little
saying.
bit, yeah.
Do you like him or Joe Mixon better?
Mixon.
Okay, Mixon is basically the same contract. Do you like him or DeAndre Swift better? Swift was the other name. It wasn't Mixon that we were talking about.
I forget what Swift did last year. I'd probably say Swift.
So I would definitely take Rhamondre over Swift. Who was the other one we just talked
Pollard.
about? Tony Pollard
I'd take
is
Pollard.
getting. See, I wouldn't 10.5. And so Stevenson's getting a lot more than Pollard. He's in that same DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon territory, which I think is about right. If you want to say they overpaid a little bit because he's getting more than Mixon, fine. He's also a lot younger.
He is younger, that's true, but I mean, he's had one good year, I guess, in the short time that he's played, and it just seems like a lot for.
So I don't agree with
that.
I think he was good as a rookie. I just think he was splitting the work. I think he was really good his second year. I think last year was a step in the wrong direction. And so, what's the urgency in paying him? That's the one question. Why'd you have to rush out there and do it? Again, to use the bad pun. I don't know, but if you're going to pay him, I'm guessing the number was only going to go up, or he sucked. And then you're stuck with this bag now with him.
And it's also the fact that it's not like this money could have been going somewhere else, and now you can't get this other guy you wanted because they're not doing anything except re-signing their own guy.
Well, my larger gripe is right. Could you use any of this money on people outside the organization? Like whether it's defensive players mostly, or in this case, Rhamondre Stevenson. You can react to that. It's breaking news in the last 10 minutes or so. Adam Schefter says Rhamondre Stevenson has a new deal with the Pats. 4 years, $36 million, 17 fully guaranteed. 617-779-7937 is your number to do that. I didn't get this follow-up tweet. You understand this? He says Rhamondre Stevenson's new deal now gives him the chance to chase down the Patriots' all-time leading rusher title. It does?
Really?
How so? What does that mean?
Who tweeted that?
Schefter. That's his follow-up tweet to the contract.
What?
It now gives him a chance to chase down the Patriots' all-time leading rusher.
Who is that? Cunningham?
He's had 1,000 yard season
with basically 5,400.
Okay, well, he only needs
53.
3,200 something yards
I'm really
to
confused.
catch Cunningham, I guess.
He's 18th on this list.
Right.
He's behind Sony Michel.
It's an odd tweet, which again just means,
So you're telling me there's a chance?
It means that he's probably getting it right from the agent. It's probably something the agent said right to him, like, hey, he's got a real chance to be their all-time leading rusher. Great. I mean, first of all, I don't care. Second of all, I bet he doesn't get there. Third of all, it makes me question how real those actual numbers are and some of the ranks Callahan just gave. But let's see. We'll dig into that the further we get along.
He's 18th. Damian Harris is 21st.
He's already passed him by.
Yes.
I know, but I'm saying,
He also recently passed Steve Grogan.
Move over, Damian Harris. Move over, Steve Grogan. You're next, Sony Michel. So you can weigh in on all